Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at Etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at our Rhino Rack gutter mount towers, which are 8 3/10 inches tall here on our 2021 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. You have your Jeep Wrangler Unlimited and you have a lot of space already to carry your different cargo for your different adventures, but what if you also need to carry around a kayak, or you want extra space to carry your bike racks or a roof box or a roof basket? This is where your roof rack system comes in. So here from Rhino Rack, this is a special kit which is a little bit taller than your normal kits. You can see it's not as low profile as your regular roof rack kit, since you do get a little bit of height, but the benefits to that is if you have cargo that has extra large bindings underneath, or if you do have the Sky Touch or Sky One Touch roof that goes back and you need some extra clearance underneath it to use it properly, this may be an option for you. And to show you what I'm really talking about, I found a Jeep that has a Sky One Touch power top. So this is a hard top with a convertible, basically soft top. So we have our gutter mounts in place, we have our roof rack on. Let's see how it works. So let's test it out. As we open up our power top, see how it folds up towards the top? We have clearance. As you can see, if you need a roof rack that you can keep on and still be able to move your Sky One Touch power top back and forth, this is the perfect solution. Here we have the Rhino Rack heavy duty crossbars. These are basically your square crossbars, not as aerodynamic as, let's say, the Rhino Rack Vortex bars, which are a little bit less or reduce your wind noise or wind drag. But if you do need a little extra weight capacity, or if you have accessories that clamp around your traditional square crossbars, this is what you would use. When using accessories, you have two options. The first option is a clamp around accessory that will go around your crossbar. Make sure it is compatible with square crossbars. But your other option, especially if you're concerned about clearance underneath your roof rack, are T-track mounted accessories. So we have a weather strip right here at the top, and if you peel this away as well as cut it once you do have your accessories in place, you can feed your T-track mounted accessories through that channel, mount it down. And I really like that feature because, one, it's a little bit more low profile and you get to take up or use as much of your bar space a little bit more compared to your clamp around accessories. And another, just because your more modern accessories do come T-track compatible now. Holding the crossbars up are these gutter mounts. So you do have different options when it comes to these mounts from Rhino Rack. I chose these slightly taller ones, so they're 8 3/10 inches tall. You can also get the even taller ones. There's an 11-inch version from Rhino Rack, or the shorter ones if you want a more low profile look. They are made of a nylon material, and it's also UV resistant, which is going to be important as you have it out in the sun and in the elements. You want it lasting a little bit longer. So let's take a quick look at measurements. So we're going to measure right over here at the top of our roof to the bottom of our crossbars. So measuring right over there, it sits at 5.5 inches of clearance below the crossbars. As for the height, this adds to the top of your roof. So measuring from the top of the roof to the top of the crossbars, it sits at about 7 3/8 inches. So both crossbars are going to be 59 inches long, and you're going to have a little less overhang depending on where you place them. I put them at about 19 inches from the seam here in the back, and then here towards the front we have it at about 12 inches. These also utilize a special security key right over here just to keep everything in place. You don't get a lock and key, but you do get a special wrench from Rhino Rack, and that's going to be what you use to secure your towers themselves so that no one else can take them off. Now back to how long our bars are going to be, we are also going to have a different amount of overhang on each side. So right over here at the front, which is kind of going to be our most narrow measurement, we have it at from the tower to before the end cap. It's going to be 2¼ inches of overhang. Please be mindful of whatever accessories you have. If you do need a little bit more overhang, you can do so with longer crossbars from Rhino Rack. One thing just to keep in mind is the aesthetics of the look, and if you are going to be standing up here, you don't want too much overhang because then you might hit your head against your crossbars. So the install process is pretty simple. There's different ways to go about it. You can install the clamps first and just make sure that they're lined up to where you need to put them, and then you put the crossbar on. What I do, especially if you have a friend helping you out, I have Bobby right over here. I'm gonna have him grab the other clamp and fit that right onto the gutter as I get the second one, and I feed that into my crossbar, and then I clamp it down too. So that's just going to help it make a little bit faster. Once you have your crossbars on your roof, you're then gonna put them right on the gutters where you need them to be. So this will depend on your crossbar spread that you need for your different accessories. What I did is I have my rear crossbars 19 inches away from this seam, and my front crossbars will be at about 12 inches away from the seam. So measure from the end of the gutter to the center of the crossbar and do the exact same thing on the other side. So then you're going to want to make sure that you have an equal amount of overhang on each side. So just measure that and then make sure it's the same on the other side. And once it is, you can then hand tighten the bolt underneath. Just make sure that the plate does not turn around as you do so. You can just do it carefully. And once that is in place, meaning your crossbar is in place, you can then tighten down the gutter mounts by using the included tool to do so. What I do is I slightly tighten it down on this side, then I go over to the other side and tighten it more, and then I finish up on this side. So just go back and forth until it's all tightened down. Now you may or may not have put the rubber strips inside of your bars ahead of time. If you didn't, this is the perfect time to put them in. Also, don't forget to put the end caps into your bars. They may be a tight fit at first, but they will fit into there. Just make sure that all the tabs are in the right place. And once your end caps are on all four sides and you have determined or checked that all your bolts are tightened down, you're done, and that's it for the install. So my final thoughts about this roof rack system, especially with our taller gutter mounts, is that when we measured it from the top of the roof to the bottom of our crossbars, we could get around 5¼ or 5½ inches of clearance. Now, if you do have that soft top which folds up and away, you may or may not have enough clearance. I do recommend checking for yourself if you do, or if you need to get the taller gutter mounts. Now, another thing about this is that as for the weight capacity, that may be limited by the actual weight capacity of your Jeep. So just make sure if you do have heavier cargo, not to overburden this roof rack. It is mainly for giving you enough extra space for, let's say, your kayaks, your bike racks, or your other sports accessories. But all in all, the whole process was relatively simple. I do recommend having a friend help you out just to take this roof rack off or on, just because it's a lot easier that way. You can do it on your own, but it will take some measuring and making sure you get it all in the right spot. But as a roof rack system for your Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, I think it works great. And that was a look here at our Rhino Rack gutter mount towers that are 8 3/10 inches long here on our 2021 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited.